Greetings. By virtue of your presence watching this video today, I want you to know that we consider you to be an extended member of our family at Unity in Linwood. We believe that you are an individualized expression of that one creative impetus which stands behind all life, and as such we celebrate the uniqueness which you are, and we celebrate our unity with you. We are glad you're with us.
Oh, the greatest showman indeed. The greatest showman indeed. Welcome. Good morning, Unity in Linwood. I'd like to invite you to stay following this service. Your Board of Trustees cordially invites you to our annual financials meeting. Review the 2017 performance, the current position, and the future budget of this divine idea we call Unity in Linwood. We'd also like to invite you to an event we call Chocolate Cabaret. It's subtitled An Evening of Decadence. Chocolate, love songs, wine. Matthew and I have created this event. It's a $25 ticket. These are available in the spiritual gift shop. It is scheduled for Valentine's evening. We've made accommodations both for those who are partnered and for those who are not. You will feel welcome. Every service has an ambassador. This person's role is to support you in your exploration and discovery of this divine evolving idea we call Unity in Linwood. So if you have a question about who we are, about what we teach, what we believe, about what's available to you, you are welcome to engage Nan Allen in conversation. Will you wave, please? The words are those of Charles Fillmore. If you feel so inclined, you may repeat. I am. I am now. I am now in the presence of pure being. And immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power. O blessed Spirit. From your divine wisdom. Now remove my mortal limitations. And from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. The Reverend Rich Carlini. What a pleasure to have you home. Would you welcome Reverend Rich Carlini to our sanctuary yet again? Welcome home, my brother. Welcome home. I think you deserve to know the truth about me, don't you? So here's the deal. I believe the $39 orange kitten from the shelter is just as valuable as that $3,000 wrinkly, hairless cat with the big ears. And the opposite is equally true, for you see, when it comes to life, value and money have no business even appearing in the same sentence. I believe children come into this earthly experience knowing things for which there is no earthly explanation. I believe there's a tremendous spiritual power in waiting, in those stretches of human uncertainty that reside between the fast yeses and the fast nos, so glorified by our society. I could say that while the cosmic green lights and the cosmic red lights satiate our need for immediate gratification, sometimes it's in the cosmic yellow lights that we find the sweetest rewards. If we can but wait. I believe our Puritan roots have done more harm than good. If we're to take seriously Unity's third tenet, that the quality of our mental world impacts the quality of our manifest world, then let's stand face to face and toe to toe with the shame that has been presented to us by our collective history. And let's draw a line this morning relegating the history that belongs to our ancestors accordingly, declaring that no longer will we accept that our bodies have shameful parts and shameful functions. Let us draw a line this morning to dedicating the future that belongs to our children accordingly, declaring that our bodies are nothing shy of miraculous gifts, fully worthy of our respect, fully deserving of our gratitude. I believe if you find a great sale on something that you don't want, you didn't save a dime. I believe we should remember our pioneers, brave blacks, brave women, brave gays, brave immigrants, brave scientists, brave philosophers, brave warriors. I believe we should remember our pioneers. For each of us sits here in this beautiful room this morning because a not-so-distant pioneer paid a pioneer's price for our admission. The pioneer's price is almost always high. I believe the normal family is the family you don't know very well yet. That we're all unique, wonderfully peculiar, beautifully odd creations. I believe if you want to learn about honesty, become a third-grade playground monitor. If you want to learn about acceptance, spend an afternoon with our teenagers. And if you want to learn about forgiveness, adopt a shelter dog. I believe what we call birth is the entrance into this earthly experience, and what we call death is the exit from this earthly experience, but that it's upon the eternal currents of capital L life that we truly exist. And I believe that it's only in a paradigm of life beyond that, defined by birth certificates and death certificates, that we can truly begin to grasp God. I believe heaven and hell are states of consciousness to be navigated today, not geographical locations to be navigated tomorrow. I believe all humans should be required to spend time in a different culture at least once a year. That what unites us in truth is far more compelling than what divides us in ignorance, and that we get this, we truly, truly get this, not in some college classroom, but seated around a table, breaking bread together. I believe you just as well spend a little extra and buy quality, spend a little extra and have it done right, spend a little extra and get what you really want. I believe in love, but be cautioned. This might not mean what you think it means. And I believe in Jesus, but be cautioned. This might not mean what you think it means. I believe in the Bible, but be cautioned. This might not mean what you think it means. And oh, I do deeply believe in family, but be cautioned. This might not mean what you think it means. In fact, I offer that our understanding of love and Jesus and the Bible and family are overripe for scrutiny by brilliant minds such as yours, for each has been too often distorted and misused as a weapon. I believe that if we are to err, let us err toward too much generosity, toward too much trust, toward too much kindness. I believe humanity could benefit from more of the child's vulnerability and curiosity. And I believe that gratitude is the most underrated of spiritual practices. In both grammar and in life, I believe we would do well to not put commas where periods belong. And to not put periods where commas belong. And to use exclamation points judiciously. I believe cruelty and bigotry and conflict are the results of ignorance. I believe if we want peace, we have to work for education. And I believe greater peace among people is dependent upon greater peace among religious leaders. We cannot continue to preach division and hope for unity. I believe the only prayer is a prayer for consciousness, and that all of the trinkets we think we want are merely symbols for consciousness, cosmic carrots dangled before our collective snouts by the universe, by divine mind, by God, each beckoning us to unfold toward our own Atman nature, toward our own Buddha consciousness, toward our own Christ nature. I could say that we like to think consciousness exists for the acquisition of stuff and things. I think the opposite is more true. Stuff and things exist as prompts toward the development of spiritual consciousness. The world can be brutal. I believe we are often more brutal to ourselves. I believe animals are sentient, thinking, feeling, relational souls. And I absolutely refuse to believe that cruelty to these brothers and sisters is ever necessary. I believe how a society cares for its oldest and its youngest members speaks volumes. I believe the days of the old schoolhouse with the teacher who knew more, pressing information into the minds of those who know less, I believe those days are done. That learning is a process of discovery, not acquisition. I believe we're all psychic. I believe we're all deeply psychic, that there truly is one mind which each of us uses in our eternal unfoldment. And so you and I knew each other before our bodies met, and that we communicate with each other and with countless others in untold ways. I believe every choice you make is causative in a chain of events which impacts life on the planet in ways beyond the ability of your wildest imaginations to conjure. That both cruelty and kindness lurk in the shadows as potentials with every dollar you spend. I believe in beauty. I believe in order. And I do believe in kindness. And I believe you always, always, always have a choice. I believe that regardless of what might be difficult in your life, if you are able to gain a perspective of enough spiritual distance, you would see that it will all be okay. That everything will be okay. And I believe this awareness is what we often call the love of God. And regardless of how you perceive God, I believe God is available to all people of all faiths or no faith whatsoever all the time. I believe God is beyond human definition, that the lisping, limited words of our spiritual traditions fall short in their attempts to represent that infinite capital L life upon whose currents we find our existence. I believe all spiritual traditions, all divine texts, all enlightened leaders are, as the Buddhists would say, just giant index fingers, all pointing towards something that can be experienced only firsthand, all pointing towards something that can be experienced only by you. I like to say that God has no middle management. How ironic it is that I stand before you week after week after week, finding creative ways to tell you that the very life, love, wisdom you seek is as close as your next breath. That while it's with you at centers such as this, it's also with you underneath that down comforter of yours. That while it's with you during life's pinnacle moments, it's also with you during the mundane. How ironic it is that I stand before you week after week after week, finding creative ways to tell you, as the adage goes, that what you are looking for truly is what you are looking with. I believe pain delivers the gifts that comfort can't provide. I believe shadow and light exist as fond bedfellows, each necessary to the existence of the other. So if you can accept that you might experience the shadow we call parting, life is about making the relationship so rich that it's worth it. If you can accept that you might experience the shadow we call failure, life is about making the venture so bold that it's worth it. If you can accept that you might experience the shadow we call death, then life is about making your time on earth so soul-fulfilling that it's worth it. You see, life isn't about fearfully avoiding the darkness. Life is about boldly embracing the light. No man was ever remembered for how safely he lived. And finally, I believe God is that life which we share, that eternal beingness, that infinite I amness upon whose currents we find our existence. So in a very real sense, if you want to know God, seek to know life, both yours and that which surrounds you in every moment. And if you want to love God, seek to love life in every form, for there can be no life outside of the life of God. And if you want to honor God, then seek, as our affirmation says, to live the life which has been entrusted to you flat out and wide open, all in and out loud. So this is what I'm about. Now, if it is indeed what you are about, then you've come to the right place. Congratulations. And I offer this on this particular morning because your Board of Trustees and I have agreed to continue this walk together for another 3 years. And as part of that walk, it's my distinct privilege, it's my honor to offer their 2018 induction ceremony. So, Board of Trustees, please and thank you. Will you join me on the platform? I was checking. My brothers and sisters, your Board of Trustees is responsible for the macro management of Unity and Linwood, always rooted in prayer. Long meetings are dedicated to the excellent stewardship of finances and to the high integrity of policies. These meetings are followed with special meetings, countless telephone conversations, even more email messages. Each trustee is elected to a 3-year term by you at our annual business meeting in October. Roles are assigned internally every January. So it is that I have the honor of introducing this collection of noble souls and offering this ceremony. Please hold your applause until the end The following questions are drawn directly from ministry bylaws. You're welcome to answer simply by saying, I will. Will you uphold the spiritual purposes of this ministry? Will you uphold the highest interest of the membership in conducting the business of this ministry? Will you consider other duties and issues brought to your attention by the minister, other trustees, or any member? And the following are not drawn from bylaws. Will you continue to practice prayer in your life and in your service to this ministry? Will you continue to live as an example of spiritual integrity in your service to this ministry? And finally, will you entertain grand possibilities and noble visions for Unity in Linwood and all of humanity? You're in such good hands. Will you welcome and show your appreciation to your Board of Trustees, please? Our goal is to write 2 songs per month beginning in 2018. This will be the first. We dedicate it to this noble new beginning. For us as a community, for your Board of Trustees, it is drawn from a Gaelic term meaning soul friend. And the phrase is Anam Cara, soul friend. We come together as a community of soul friends. Fair enough? The words will appear behind Matthew. You are welcome and invited to sing along.
Anam Cara, Anam Cara, Anam Cara, Anam Cara,
Let's be in the energy of soul friend for a minute. Truly, I see you. I see the highest truth of you. And I trust that you'll see me. Anam Cara. Anam Cara. And so it is.
Thanks again for joining us. Please visit unityinlinwood.org for a preview of all upcoming classes, services, and events, and for an opportunity to make a gift to our community should you so choose. Thank you.